Tight security outside Indian mission in London. Bigger national flag amid protests. Amid pro-Khalistani protests in London, pro-Khalistani protesters throw ink at cops. Barricades removed from UK mission in Delhi. Pro-Khalistani leader Amritpal's anti-India blueprint revealed. NDTV accesses crucial intel details on Amritpal. NDTV exclusive sources say Amritpal got guns from Pakistan via IS, and NDTV exclusive Amritpal was building a private militia in rehabs. COVID case at a month high in India. Prime Minister holds high-level meet on COVID. As cases spike, Prime Minister says senior citizens, vulnerable groups should mask up. Kerala sounds COVID alert in districts. And the Padma Awards for 2023 were conferred by the President today. Mulayam Singh Yadav, Zakir Hussain, K.M. Birla, composer Keeravani and Sudha Murthy were among those who were given honours. Hello, I'm Sneha Koshi, and the top story that we've been very closely following. The Indian High Commission in London saw tight security as pro-Khalistani groups were allowed to protest but kept away from the Indian House. They were allowed to hold their protest only on the other side of the road, even as a massive and a bigger flag was seen at the Indian High Commission. There was ruckus in between as pro-Khalistani protesters threw ink at cops amid tight security. Radhika Iyer has all the details.
Barricades have been put up on either sides. The police, of course, at one point before the protest began, outnumbering the protesters, but then as the hours began to go on, more number of protesters, and we're getting a rough estimate that close to 3,500 protesters were at one point protesting against India. And at the time, we saw also the protest turning ugly when the Indian flag was hoisted on top of the Indian High Commission by officers. So clearly statements being made from both sides. But luckily, it didn't turn out to be violent like the Sunday one did. Sunday's protest was more of vandalism when property was broken. People were caught by surprise. There was no police presence around, and clearly there was lack of security. But now it seems that the police did take this threat of protest quite seriously, which is why even now behind me you can see a fleet of police vans, and each van has close to 10 to 12 officers in it on standby still, even as protests are now calming down since they had permissions till about 3 and 4 p.m. We saw that it did turn ugly briefly, but nobody was hurt. The demonstrations were made, but now India has made its point, both to the protesters as well as to the British authorities, that security is foremost. And clearly this is not just a law and order situation that the police have come out to share in their presence, but clearly also making a diplomatic statement from the UK side to India after India's sharp response.
And NDTV has accessed exclusive government details that reveal pro-Khalistani leader Amritpal's blueprint for India, from distributing guns that he sourced from Pakistan via ISI to building a private militia at drug rehabilitation centers. Neeta Sharma has all the details on this exclusive.
The dossier also mentions that since the time Amarjit Singh has been arrested, or rather, he has come back to India, that is last year. Since then, even the drone droppings across international borders, whether it's Rajasthan, whether it's Punjab or Jammu and Kashmir, have increased. If I can give you just details, 33 drone sightings were done only in the month of January, that is January 2023, out of which 21 times drone has been sighted over Punjab. And most of the times these drone sightings come with a caseload. These drones come across from Pakistan, they drop their caseload, at times they go back, at times the BSF shoots them down. So obviously drone sightings have increased. The weapons which are coming from across the borders have also increased. Agencies have markings of ISI, even Chinese markings when the weapons are coming from across the border. As far as his WPD is concerned, there are clear linkages that it is getting its money, it's being funded by Pakistan, ISI, how gurdwaras were being used as shelters to raise his own armed militia, how the de-addiction centers, he used to take out all these small yatras every day, going about 20 kilometers in a village, trying to mobilize the youngsters, trying to gear them, giving them bhashan, and also trying to say all anti-India sloganeering he was actually doing. So he was trying to gear up. The dossier mentions that he was trying to turn one community against another community. So interesting details have come across, but the fact is, it all looks like a movie wherein a hero is on a run and everything is falling in place, but the police, is chasing and is always last to arrive. If we see, first he went by Mercedes car, nonetheless by the Mercedes car he was traveling, and then he went by Breeza, then by a motorbike. Every time his fuel ran out, or even his he wanted new clothes, there was a man who was waiting for him to give him all kind of assistance. So it is obviously, it seems like, the Operation Swift, which the which the Punjab police and center had launched, as of now it seems like it's Operation Flop.
Well, thank you, Neeta, for those details. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a high-level meeting today to review the COVID situation amid rise in cases in the country, and also took stock of the public health preparedness, even as India has recorded the highest daily COVID cases since November 4th. COVID-appropriate behavior, including wearing of masks in hospital premises and mock drills for hospitals, have been emphasized even as testing needs to be ramped up. Kerala has sounded a COVID alert in all districts, asking vulnerable groups, including the elderly, to use masks. Maharashtra, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra, Tamil Nadu are states having the highest COVID-19 daily cases as of now. The Delhi government today tabled a 78,800 crore rupee budget with a major push on infrastructure, education and health. The theme of the budget was a clean, beautiful and modern Delhi. The presentation was delayed on Tuesday due to a tussle between the centre and the Aam Aadmi Party government.
A key element in Delhi's 78,000 crore rupee budget, up 3,000 crore rupees, or almost 4% from last year, and presented in the State Assembly a day late after an Aam Aadmi Party BJP tussle over clearances. It is the promise to clear these toxic landfills, mountains of garbage, within 2 years.
हालांकि कचरे के पहाड़ से निपटने का काम एमसीडी के दायरे में आता है, लेकिन दिल्ली के लोगों की खातिर हम एमसीडी के साथ मिलकर काम करेंगे और तीनों कूड़े के पहाड़ों का अंत सुनिश्चित करने के लिए हर संभव सहयोग प्रदान करेंगे.
The biggest allocation is for education, a department held previously by the now under arrest Manish Sisodia, and one where the government claims big gains. At 16,575 crore rupees, it's a less than 2% increase from last year, but the highest percentage allocation for education across India, according to the Delhi Economic Survey. The government also said that its popular mohalla clinics that provide affordable healthcare will also be set up at metro stations. Free rides for women in city buses will continue for this year as well.
कॉपी पेस्ट कर दिया, कुछ भी नया करने का समय नहीं और कुछ भी नया करने का विजन भी नहीं है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी अरविंद केजरीवाल सरकार के, आम आदमी पार्टी सरकार के दिल्ली बजट को न सिर्फ निंदा करती है, बल्कि उनकी इस क्रूरता को दिल्ली के सामने रखती है.
इतनी मुसीबतों के, इतने अड़चनों के बावजूद इतना कुछ 60 साल में हासिल कर लिया, ये हमारी शानदार एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव स्किल्स दिखाता है. अगर ये सारी अड़चनें ना होती और दिल्ली फुल स्टेट होता तो आज पता नहीं हम दिल्ली को कहाँ ले गए होते.
After a face-off between the Delhi LG and the Delhi government, the budget for the year 2023-2024 was finally presented in Delhi's Vidhan Sabha. One of the major promises made by the Aam Aadmi Party government was that all the 3 landfill sites will be removed by the end of 2024. And whether these promises will be fulfilled or not remains to be seen. Tanishq Punjabi for NDTV.
And thousands of posters targeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi put up in various parts of Delhi have triggered a police crackdown in which 36 cases have been filed and 6 people have been arrested. 2 of the arrested men own a printing press. In a massive operation on Tuesday, the police took down nearly 2,000 posters from several places in Delhi. Most of these posters had the slogan "Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao," translated into "Remove Modi, Save the Country," quote unquote. They say that the arrested didn't follow the law, as any posters have to be put up with the printer's name, which these posters didn't have. This has led to a political face-off.
A Delhi police crackdown over these posters has triggered the latest AAP versus BJP political war. In a massive operation on Tuesday, the police took down nearly 2,000 posters across Delhi. Most of these posters had the slogan "Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao," or "Remove Modi, Save the Country." The police said 4 people have been arrested for defacing public property and under a law that requires posters to have the name of the printing press. Some 2,000 posters, which the police claim were being delivered to the Aam Aadmi Party's office, were seized. But the Aam Aadmi Party tweeted saying the action was the peak of Modi government's dictatorship. It's a charge the BJP denies.
कानून तो आप मानते नहीं, इसलिए आपने पोस्टर लगवा दिया. हिम्मत है, नाम डालिए और कानून अपना काम कर रहा है, उसको करने दीजिए. बेचारा पॉलिटिक्स करने की कोशिश मत कीजिए.
In a statement, the Delhi police said it is the responsibility of the police to stop defacement of public property and that all posters should bear the name of the printer. The police also said that any violations will attract legal action. With Mukesh Singh Sengar, Bureau Report, NDTV.
And the Prime Minister today launched the 6G test bed to provide industry, academic institutions and others a platform to test and validate the evolving technologies.
आज 6G टेस्ट बेड को भी लॉन्च किया गया है. ये डिजिटल इंडिया को नई ऊर्जा देने के साथ ही साउथ एशिया के लिए, ग्लोबल साउथ के लिए नए समाधान, नए इनोवेशन लेकर आएगा. खासकर हमारे एकेडेमिया, हमारे इनोवेटर्स, स्टार्टअप्स, हमारी इंडस्ट्री के लिए इससे अनेक नए अवसर बनेंगे.
The anticipation continues over the possible indictment of former President Donald Trump from the Manhattan grand jury probing a hush money scheme. Already a 2024 candidate for the White House, Trump has both celebrated how an indictment would help him politically and complained about how, quote-unquote, unfair it would be. For now, according to sources, the Manhattan DA has told the grand jury hearing evidence in the Trump-Daniels investigation to stay home and be on standby for the next day. The reason for the delay is unclear.
With Donald Trump expected by many to be indicted in the coming days, his supporters, critics, and New York law enforcement officials await the historic event of criminal charges being brought against a former president for the first time. A grand jury reconvened to continue to weigh charges against Donald Trump in connection with the Manhattan District Attorney's probe into the 2016 hush payment to porn star Stormy Daniels. Meanwhile, police were seen putting up barricades outside the Manhattan Criminal Courthouse, while in D.C., Capitol Police have reportedly erected a bike rack fencing around the Capitol. Since the news broke of the possible charge against Donald Trump, congressional Republicans have broadly come to his defense, framing the indictment as an instance of political persecution. The big question now is, can Donald Trump still run for president? An indictment or even a criminal conviction would not prevent Trump from continuing his presidential campaign if he so chooses. In fact, nothing in US law prevents a candidate who is found guilty of a crime from campaigning for and serving as president even from prison. But Trump's arrest would certainly complicate his presidential campaign. It would also deepen and inflame already sharp divides within the American political system. Parmeshwar Bawa for NDTV.
Welcome back. And the Indian Air Force is participating in the multinational air combat exercise Cobra Warrior being carried out at the United Kingdom's Royal Air Force Base. India is taking part in the intense military exercise for the first time with multiple fighter jets and 145 Air Force personnel. The aim of the exercise is to bolster military cooperation and defense diplomacy.
An Indian Air Force Mirage 2000 fighter, the same jets that attacked Pakistan's Balakot terror camp in 2019. Here though, they are flying alongside British Air Forces participating in Cobra Warrior 2023, a crucial multilateral air exercise at Royal Air Force Waddington, a key air base in the UK.
I come to you from the Waddington Air Base of the Royal Air Force here in the UK, and what you just saw right behind me was the Mirage 2000 taking off. And this year, this exercise is particularly crucial because it's for the first time in the history of the multinational military exercise that Indian Air Force is actually participating. And there you can see another Mirage 2000 took off to take part in the war games.
These exercises are an opportunity to exchange best practices between air forces, and it is also about building closer ties with various friendly nations.
Going full throttle for the war games, India has sent over 100 Air Force Warriors, 5 Mirages, the strategic airlift transport aircraft Globemaster 3 and other refueling tanker jets to the UK.
The capability to undertake air operations so far away from home with such limited numbers. It shows the Air Force capability that we are growing. As of now, we are the 4th largest Air Force, and this proves that at any part of the world we can undertake any kind of operations.
The goal here is to improve combat skills and share operational tactics.
Diplomatic benefits, and it's absolutely wonderful to have the Indian Air Force here alongside us, enhancing the partnership we have with one of our longest allies, and it's absolutely fantastic to be sharing this experience and learning from each other.
Amid turbulent times for global security, a larger strategic message as the Indian Air Force looks to expand its footprint beyond the Indo-Pacific. This as India is participating in a similar exercise in the UAE with its indigenous light combat aircraft Tejas.
This exercise assumes greater strategic importance given the fact that it comes close on the heels of the India-UK partnership of 2022. As for India, this exercise is crucial for the Indian Air Force and seeks to enhance its aerospace power and technological capability, with the recognition that any potential future conflicts will be fought across domains: the sea, the land, the air, and the space. In Waddington, Vedant for NDTV.